hear the Bobby McFerrin song, Don't Worry, Be Happy? He says, one of the lyrics is, when you worry, you make it double. Hello. So, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I've decided how I'm going to structure my channel. So like I said in my last video, if you guys have seen it, if you haven't, I'll make sure to link that video down below. Oh man, I really should not have sat that way. My knees. I am going to be still documenting my journey. The whole point when I started my channel was to document my journey, and spiritual awakening has become a part of it. So I will be sprinkling in some vlogs here and there when I feel like vlogging. I'll be coming on once a week to do something like this, learning something new every day. Whatever, something that I've learned or I experienced or whatever, I want to be able to share it with you. What I'm reading, things like that. So today is that video. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Hello, hola. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and then go ahead and check out all of my other stuff in my playlist, and then you'll see kind of how I've come here. If not, you can just check out the last video to kind of catch up to speed. But also make sure to follow me on my Instagram, and then also introducing my new blog. Now, I know a lot of people do blogs and everyone's like, oh, check out my blog, blah, blah. This is something different. I am not your typical YouTube mom. It's not going to be a blog about family tips and how to this with your toddler and how to whatever. It's still kind of like what I'm doing now, documenting my journey on this channel and with my social media with Instagram. But my blog is the way for me to actually write it out. So far I have 3-4 posts, but I'll go ahead and leave all that stuff linked down below if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. But yeah, so before I keep jibber jabbing, let's kind of get into it. What I want to talk about today is actually something that I'm like, wow. Like, you ever have like those wow moments? It's like you realize something. Right now what I'm reading, maybe I'm guys, journey. This is how I think that I'm gonna start doing, is telling you guys what I'm currently reading, what I have read, and then go on to whatever. So right now I just finished reading the other day, It Is Done by Richard Dotts. I'll leave it linked for you guys down below. I just finished reading that, and it was actually suggested to me from someone from my Instagram. So she suggested it, and it was an amazing book, and it actually helped me work on certain blocks or fears or certain things that I had deep down that I didn't even know. And it made me become aware and to work on that, and it's something I'm still working on every day. So thank you to her for that. I really enjoyed the book, and I'm actually going to reread it again. And a lot of these books, especially when it's kind of changing your life, it's not always advisable to just like you read it once, you're like, oh my god, it was a really good book, and then you leave it. These are books that you will continually go back to. So another book that I picked up is something that was mentioned to me when I was working at my old job, and it's The 4 Agreements. So I just started reading this, and I was reading this yesterday. I just started reading this yesterday, and you ever read something and you just kind of, you're like, oh my god, because it's literally like opening up a whole new world for you, and you're like, oh my god, that's right, oh my god, and you go, does anyone else know this? If you guys have already read it, then you guys know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are still following me here, and even if you're not on a spiritual journey, this is just a really good wisdom book for anyone. I'm also reading Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. So anyway, so I'm gonna kind of read what I wrote, and then I'll kind of expand on it. So it kind of go with my blog post too, and it's about our story, the things that we tell ourselves. So you know that thoughts become things, and like attracts like, and we attract what we give. So whatever we give is what we get back. So it's our story, our life. You know, we create it without even knowing it, the majority of us, because we live on autopilot. So one of the stories, or one of our things, is our past. our cycles, the things that we tell ourselves, the mentalities that we have. So one of the mentalities is the victim mentality, or the people that are always blaming everybody else. Woe me syndrome. Oh, why me syndrome? You know what I mean? And I say that because I've been there, and I've caught myself a couple of times now, kind of like, oh, and I'm like, no, 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 absolutely not. You know the things and circumstances that have happened to where you are right now, but you still have control to create your reality. So what are you going to think now? What do you want to happen? You know what I mean? So when you stay in this mentality, everything is always happening to me, and oh man, my life is stuck, and I'm always broke, or you know, I can never get a good keep, or you know, a good relationship, or why are bad things always happening, or why is this, or you know, when something goes wrong, oh, this always happens to me, or you know, I can never get ahead, blah 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 blah. All that negative shit, cut it out. Okay? You don't realize that every single time that you say that, you think, and especially the passion that you have behind it, the anger that you have behind it, all that is energy. You're doing this to yourself. You're creating your reality. You keep saying this, you keep feeling this, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to be on that hamster wheel, and you don't even know it. And again, you're on that hamster wheel, but you're blaming somebody else the reason you're on that hamster wheel. And then you're looking for someone to help you. Like, sometimes you just have to help yourself. Yes, miracles do happen, and there might be someone that might come along out of the blue and say, yeah, I can help you with that, or, you know, yeah, I can do this for you. Did you know what? Without you even asking. And those things do happen. But when you have that mentality where you are always blaming everyone else, and you feel like you cannot get unstuck until someone helps you, like someone has to do for you, that's still the woe me, why me. You're helpless. You're feeling helpless. You're acting helpless, and you're not gonna. So you're always saying, you know, that's, you know, what's going on, and then you say, you know, well, they say blah blah blah, or they said this, or this is what happened, or whatever. That's a story from the past years that you keep telling yourself, and you accept this as your reality. You accept it as your reality. And you don't see anything else. So it's hard to say that. So some of you who are going through this right now, even as I'm saying this, you're probably thinking, oh, what the fuck ever. So no, because this person's an asshole, or this person's a bitch, or this whatever, or no, this happened, or I hate this job. No, the people at my job suck. No, the people at your job don't suck. They might, but you can control that. Why are you taking that personally? Stop doing that. Don't do that. This is not the way for you to be in the moment. When you learn how to start being in the moment and being in the present, and actually focusing on yourself and becoming aware of what you're thinking, because what you're thinking sometimes comes out your mouth. And if you're not aware of what you're thinking before it comes out your mouth, you know, you still have a moment to go, shit, I didn't mean to say that. I said too much. Sorry. Let me take that back. I apologize. Some people don't have the control, or they're not conscious enough to really realize when they're even saying that, or even thinking that. Even if you don't say it out loud, the things that you think, that's energy that you're putting into that, because you're so focused on, oh man, how am I going to do this, or how am I going to do that, oh man, my job, this or whatever. And it'll keep going and going and going, because universe or God, and you'll hear me say universe, God interchangeably, because, you know, universe, God, it's whatever you want to call the highest being. It's up to you. It's your preference. You're going to get what you give. If you're constantly complaining about something, you're going to keep getting what you're complaining about. So start thinking about what you do want. What do you want to happen? And a lot of you guys, if you've watched The Secret, they talk about this. And it's interesting that, you know, someone can tell you, or you should watch this, or you watch this, or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then you keep going back to your habit to keep doing what you've done before, but they're not serving you. You're not moving forward. They're not doing anything positive for you. Nothing's happened yet. Think about that. You know, every choice that you've made in your life has led you to where you are right now. And if you look at your life right now and you're not happy with it, or you're not satisfied with whatever, you can still change it. It'll take some time. I'm not saying that this isn't magic. This isn't something that happens overnight. You can change your story, change what you tell yourself. And then over time, little by little, as a matter of fact, this just reminds me that on my Instagram post, I posted something that was a quote from this box of quotes that one of my really best friends gave me. just something every day your life starts to shift. So choose, you can be in the moment. When you're making a conscious decision, that's you being in the moment, being now, being here. You can never be in the moment if you're still living in the past. So, your parents, your relationships with your parents are not going to change, and they're just not, or they can. I'll speak for my parents. For a long time, I blamed my parents' relationship and how I saw them growing up I blame them for why my relationships didn't work, or why are the way that I was. It's because my mom says this about my dad or my parents or whatever. Blame. I never took responsibility, and I had to take responsibility. I can choose to be different from my parents. I can choose how I want my relationships to be. I can choose what I deserve and what I want. Do you see what I'm saying? Our relationships with our friends. If you notice that, they always say misery loves company. And misery is energy, and it's true. It's if you notice that the people that you're hanging around, it kind of drains your energy, or they're always fucking complaining, or always gossiping, or always talking shit, or just negative, low vibe shit. And you do notice, you will notice that when you go home or when you leave them, you don't feel any better. You feel kind of like you're still in that same. You gotta cut that fucking cord. Send them love and light. Don't do it, obviously, like. If you notice that you're feeling, or just think about the conversation. Just even if you don't notice that you feel, because sometimes you don't even notice that you're feeling that. Maybe you're the one that attracted that energy, or they attracted that. You know what I mean? So maybe it's you. If you don't notice the way that you're feeling, or you think your friends are fine, or you guys all get along and you guys are interested in the same thing, the next time you hang out with them, the next time you speak to one of your friends, pay attention to the topic of your conversations. Pay attention to what you talk about. It's human, and we're all human, and it's normal for us to sometimes vent. I have a group on Snapchat with two of my friends. Well, one's my cousin and one of my really, really dear friends, where we share gratitude with each other every day. And even sometimes when we're just doing that, we're still human. Sometimes, we're kind of like, oh man, today was kind of, whatever. We kind of want to vent a little bit, but we also know that we're aware once we say it, or even when we're thinking about venting, we're like, okay, you know what? I'm putting too much energy into this. I really don't want to speak that into existence. So let me just backtrack. All right. And then just kind of whatever. But if you really feel like you need to let it all out. It doesn't do you any good to hold it in either. Just let the shit out, breathe, acknowledge it, be aware of it, and then move on. It's a difference when you vent it, you complain about something, or you vent about your day, or you vent about something or someone, and then you stay there and you live there, and then it just keeps, and then it just kind of propels into like this mucky, yucky conversation, and then it makes you think about something else that was just that bad or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for you to talk about, I really didn't like when this happened, or this person said this and it made me feel this way, whatever. You can talk about it, vent it out, and then let that shit go. Don't live there. It's easier said than done. Again, this takes work, guys. I'm saying this and I'm telling you this because I have lived all of this and I still am. I'm not going to talk about something that I haven't personally lived through. That's just not me. That's not being my authentic self. So your parents, your relationships with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your circumstances, you've created that by your thoughts, your energy, your feelings, your words. And I keep looking down because this is everything. Literally, I just wrote down the other day a whole bunch of stuff. And it is change your story, you change your life. You change your thoughts, you change the way that you think, and you change your life. Because whatever you're thinking starts to kind of trickle down, and then you start feeling it. So think about it. So think about good things. Do something that feels good. Think about what you want to think about. And the more you try to, I don't want to think about, so then don't talk about it. Leave it be. You speak things into your existence. I tell my bonus daughters this all the time. Camila's 2, so she's not really gonna, she don't understand it now, but there are still little subtle things that I can show her. So I've been teaching her how to breathe when she gets really frustrated, because you know how 2-year-olds are. I'm teaching her how to breathe, like how to just stop. And if she can't stop, because sometimes they can't control their impulses, I just kind of let her go through the motion, and then I offer her a hug or whatever, and then just kind of, you know, but every once in a while with Camila, when I can, or when she's able to emotionally, I've been teaching her how to breathe. And she likes to meditate with me. She likes to do namaste. She always says namaste, and she'll namaste. It's so cute. With my bonus daughters, they're older. They're middle school and high school. So I teach them to be aware of how they think, how they feel, and their energy, their vibe. And it's them with their friends. They can apply it with their friendships. They can apply it with their own self-esteem, how they think of themselves, because these are teenage girls. How they think of themselves. You know, what do you feel about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? And also with their grades, you know, like, how do you feel about your grades? Well, I want, you know, well, speak life into it. You know what? I'm going to get good grades. And sure enough, the both of them are straight A students, because they spoke life into it and they're proud of themselves. They've seen it go, oh my God. Like, I'm like, yes, you have to really try to think about what you want. And as you get older, if you don't correct that, or you don't become aware of that, and you keep blaming everybody else, and oh, but I can't until this, or this person has to help me out, but I need this, but I need that, or I can't, you know, you still doing this why me, woe me syndrome. Your life isn't gonna change until you make that choice. And no one can make that choice but you. You have to make that decision. You. No one else can do it for you. I'm not even gonna worry. Things are gonna work out. Everything's gonna be fine. Let me think positive things. I'm like, okay, well, it's not just thinking positive, because people assume like, well, I just think good things. No. It's not just thinking it. It's thinking and feeling. How do you feel when you think those things? You know what I mean? And that's when you start to realize your day flows a lot easier, or people are nicer. And then the universe and God, I'm telling you, it opens up and just starts bringing these people. You start meeting nice people. You start meeting someone, you know, or you meet people, or opportunities present themselves. You know, you feel really, really good about yourself and what you're thinking about your life. Start being grateful for what you have. Even if your circumstance isn't the best at the moment, it happens. We are all human. Right now, and my circumstance, but I don't think about it. And I realize that when I don't think about it and I leave it, I let go and I let God. I already asked him for what I need to happen, or what needs to happen, but he already knows what needs to happen. You can enjoy the day. You're not, you know, you ever hear the Bobby McFerrin song, Don't Worry, Be Happy? He says, one of the lyrics is, when you worry, you make it double. Hello. So sorry, I will literally keep going on and on about this, and it's just because it's fascinating to me. It's literally like a whole new world. When you start realizing, holy shit, I create my life. If I want something, I make it happen. I can make it happen. I create my own reality. But you have to acknowledge some shit first. You can't just like wish for something. It's not wishing, it's wanting. Really want it. But you gotta work on your shit. So if you got some shit to work on it. You gotta be really honest with yourself. A lot of people, it's hard for them to, and they just rather not because it's too hard. You're gonna get uncomfortable and you're gonna realize some shit. And sometimes when you're realizing some shit, you might want to make some changes in certain areas of your life. And you know what? It's okay. Don't feel bad. You're doing this for you. I think I'm just gonna end it there, guys. I will keep talking. Change your story. Change what you tell yourself, and watch every day, little by little. Well, thank you guys for listening. This is the end of the program. All right, guys. Have a magical day. Expect great shit to happen, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.